All right, everyone to your places.
We're ready in here, sir.
How are we in the studio?
Stand by, sir. Hit the lights.
Yes, sir. Striking.
Quiet on the set, please. We're on in 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
Hello, everyone. Don't be afraid. It's just us. Another edition of the Arlington Weekly News. I'm Craig Nolan. Thanks for joining us.
Hello, I'm Daniel Pineda.
My name's Adele Quo.
And here we go with our second show. Is it really? Our second show in August.
Hot August.
August
Actually,
Rainy.
It's been pretty cool.
2017.
Rainy
Well, I got off
August.
to a little bit of a wet start, but it's coming around, and we have more typical August-like weather right now, happening right now. So we have our usual lineup of stuff here, our News and Community Bulletin Board. Adele is here with
It's easy being green.
Indeed it is. CDB, as I mentioned, Denise Pringle and her roll-in tonight, her spin on Mark of Cain, our News for Seniors segment, and then our very own, is it Styrofoam Mom? I'm not sure, or Inga. And that'll wrap it up after
Inga.
with a little goodbye. Thank you, Senor Pineda. But
Absolutely.
before we begin,
That's right, Mr.
here's a
Nolan.
social media reminder from my partner over there. Your turn.
Take 2, right?
Take 7 or 8.
Yeah, well, you can watch the Arlington Weekly News on our YouTube channel. That's youtube.com/Arlington Weekly News. And yes, the number 1, correct? Also, facebook.com/Arlington Weekly News. And also on the radio, right, Craig?
Number 1, also a WERA
Yeah.
96.7 LP FM.
Woo!
Listen in. We're there.
Always.
Okay, here we go. Thank you. Gracias, Senor Pineda. Here we go. The first of our news items. Welcome to our first show during this rainy start to August, the month of August. Summer showers may be known to bring flowers, but they may also bring tears. If you're not careful this month, you may end up crying thanks to some summer scammers. Arlington County Police are warning residents about a phone scam to take your money. Several residents have received calls from people claiming to be the sheriff's office deputy. They claim that they call the recipient. Take 2. They claim that the call recipient missed jury duty and will now have to either pay a fine or go to jail. If you get one of these calls, police say to hang up immediately and call the sheriff's office, verify the claim, file a police report. If the information was false, remember to never call back any phone number provided by the caller and never give out any personal information, bank account numbers, Social Security, any kind of that information. Never do that over the phone. You can visit police.arlingtonva.us/prevention-safety/fraud for more details. Daniel.
Well, Craig, now to our next story for tonight. Air India began hosting direct flights between Washington, D.C. and Delhi in July, although the first ever nonstop flights connect at Dulles International Airport in Fairfax and not Reagan National here in Arlington. Arlington can still expect to benefit. The inaugural flight press coverage included guiding Indian journalists through Arlington and other parts of Northern Virginia. The impact from these flights is expected to add about $30 million per year to the D.C. metro area's economy. Around 30,000 business people and holidaymakers are projected to visit the region. Visits from India to D.C.'s metro have increased by 40% since 2013. Hopefully, the press corps is getting word out now about some of the country's great businesses and entertainment spots. Right, Craig?
Absolutely.
Hey, you stole my line.
All right, some information now on the plight of the bees around the country. You may have heard about the mystery concerning global bee populations that are shrinking. Well, this past summer, a couple of Arlington residents helped save the local swarm thanks to proactive communication from the county. Arlington County planned to raise an abandoned office building in the 2400 block of Shirlington Road in Nauck neighborhood. During an inspection, however, the staff discovered a network hive of bees layered between a window and some plywood used to board up the windows. They contacted a Nauck-based married beekeeper couple for help. The couple relocated the swarm to a community garden at 10th and Barton Streets. They estimate that the hive was around 70,000 bees strong. The empty office building was demolished as part of the Nauck Town Square project. To see the bee roll for yourself, you can visit tinyurl.com/ARLBroll and check out how they save those honeybees. That's good stuff. Daniel.
Great stuff. Well, more in the iconic 2007 movie The Bucket List, Jack Nicholson and Morgan Freeman's characters write up a to-do list to complete before they take the bucket due to terminal cancer. A real-life woman here in Arlington who is also dealing with terminal cancer recently managed to check off a bucket list of her own. 50-year-old Emily Pomerantz was in hospice due to pancreatic cancer. She told a friend her final wish to drink a mocha milkshake from a popular hometown restaurant. The problem, the restaurant is about 375 miles and multiple states away in Ohio. However, thanks to the persistence of her friend and ingenuity of the restaurant owner, Pomerantz managed to have that milkshake delivered straight to her bedside for breakfast last June. Pomerantz passed away on July 28th.
That is great news. That's also a
Great story, yes.
Thank you, Daniel. All right, we'll be back with CBB as promised right after we hear from Adele Quo and another installment of
It's Easy Being Green.
Here's Adele.
Thanks for the warm welcome. Thanks for having me back.
Absolutely.
And it is Easy Being Green with Adele Quo here and my mascot, Joe Tree Frog. Did you spot the apparently driverless vehicle cruising Clarendon and Wilson Boulevard last Thursday evening? Arlington Now posted a video of that apparent self-driving van on YouTube. And it turns out that there was a driver disguised as a seat, and that the Commonwealth is not just for lovers, but is also the testing grounds for driverless cars. Specifically, Richmond has designated part of the Beltway, I-95, I-66, US 29, and US 50, among other streets, as designated automated and connected vehicle corridors. To prepare for more driverless cars in the future, WTOP reported this past May, there are other autonomous vehicles driving among us on our Virginia roads with our regular commuters in Northern Virginia. Maybe that tinted window and unmarked gray Ford Transit Connect van with Virginia license plate is driving next to you. Joe Tree Frog wants to remind you that last summer, Easy Being Green presented Ollie the Smart Bus at the National Harbor in Maryland. A self-driving, all-electric, 3D printed, partially recyclable 12-person small bus. Ford, GM, Tesla, Uber, Lyft, Google, and more. They are all racing to get these self-driving cars ready for commercial use in the next 5 years. By 2030, industry experts predict 60% of all cars on the road will be self-driving. So why all the hullabaloo for driverless cars? The argument is to invest in technology that will be safer for our roads. Driverless cars won't drive drunk, doze off, send a text message, or behave recklessly from road rage or machismo spirit. Since the reality of driverless cars doesn't seem all that far off with Ollie and our unmarked gray van cruising Clarendon, often overlooked are what self-driving cars mean for our environment. Will they run on gas, electricity, or some hybrid? If automation makes cars more appealing and opens availability to people who don't currently use cars, such as the elderly who don't drive anymore, and those with disabilities, the unlicensed, and kids, will more vehicles enter our already clogged roadways? Will our commutes become longer because we're willing to live further away and work in our cars while it takes us to work? And will we make more trips overall as we start treating our automated cars like private chauffeurs? So many questions, so many questions that officials have to grapple with and think through the implications to integrate these driverless vehicles into the regulatory landscape. So stay tuned and remember, it's easy being green.
You know, I saw the video of that thing, and it was a guy disguised as a car seat, right?
Pretty crazy, right?
Pretty great, but there he was back there making it look like it was a driverless van cruising around in Roslyn.
So you actually saw it?
Well, I didn't see the van, but I saw
okay.
the video.
But students from Virginia Tech were
Virginia
apparently
Tech,
doing that study.
They were doing a test to see what the reactions of people would be to a driverless
They are among us.
car. They're out there.
Yeah.
So be careful. Watch out for those driverless vehicles. All right, thanks, Adele.
Thank you, Adele.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Here we go. As promised now, our CBB, Community Bulletin Board, filed. Arlington County Police are hosting their 3rd annual Police, Fire, and Sheriff Block Party. This is a free event, a family-oriented event coming up on Saturday, August 26th, 9 to 4. 9 in the morning to 4 in the afternoon. There'll be free food and drinks, a canine demonstration, a motor squad, a bicycle rodeo, free child safety seat inspection, and a whole lot more. They'll also have free parking. There's free parking at Kenmore Middle, Carlin Springs Elementary, and Virginia Hospital Center. The event itself will be held at Kenmore Middle School. They're located at 200 South Carlin Springs Road. So check that on your calendar. The Arlington County Police Rodeo, free rodeo, coming up. Daniel.
And Craig, also, the Arlington County Fair is almost here. It will run from Wednesday, August the 16th to Sunday the 20th at Thomas Jefferson Community Center. That's located at 3501 2nd Street South. The annual summer fair aims to enlighten, entertain, and highlight the best of Arlington. There is no public parking at the fair, unfortunately, and parking on nearby streets is restricted to neighborhood residents. However, you still have lots of options to get there by shuttle bus, metro, walking, or biking. Free valet bike parking will be available. Just visit their website. That's at arlingtoncountyfair.us/about-us for details. The address, Thomas Jefferson Community Center. That's 3501 2nd Street South, Arlington, Virginia, 22204. The hours of operation are Wednesday, August the 16th, outdoor hours 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. Thursday, August the 17th, outdoor hours 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. Friday, August the 18th, indoor hours 4 p.m. to 10 p.m. Outdoor hours 2 p.m. to 11 p.m. Saturday, August the 19th, indoor hours 10 a.m. To 9 p.m. Outdoor hours 10 a.m. to 11 p.m. Sunday, August the 20th, indoor hours 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. and outdoor hours 11 a.m. to 10 p.m.
All right, Daniel. And I should make a correction here. It's the 3rd annual Police, Fire, and Sheriff Block Party that's coming up on August 26th. So make a note of that on your calendars. All right, pet visit with Zoe. Take a look at this picture if you can. This is Zoe, the therapy dog. They say that a picture is worth 1,000 words.
Phonetic theater has built its reputation retelling the plays of Shakespeare and plots of classic literary masterpieces through movement and dance, usually without words. Phonetic is now flexing its imaginative muscle by mounting the premiere of an original work, The Mark of Cain. It does tell the story of the sons of Adam and Eve, Cain, who killed his brother Abel, but then it branches out and traces the spread of evil through the ages. In his artistic director's notes, Patet Tishkurishvili acknowledges inspiration from the Surrealism movement of the past 100 years. Surrealism frees each of its viewers to develop his own unique vision of the art being presented. Set against co-designer Phil Charwood's tree in the Garden of Eden, Adam and Eve fall under the spell of the dark angel and displease God, who casts them out. After their deaths, their son Abel continues to be creative until his brother Cain kills him in a rage and sets about destroying the beauty that Abel has created. God is enraged and marks Cain with a bloody reminder of his deed. The dark angel joins Cain, and they disperse evil through the ages into modern time. You'll visit Roman, medieval, and fascist struggles on your path to the present. There is even a depiction of Trump in his red tie. Phonetic can even quote our president without words. The creative team at Phonetic includes choreographer Irina Tishkurishvili and fight choreographer Vato Tishkurishvili, who guide Brian Sellers as Cain and Dallas Tolentino as Abel through the enactment of the original crime. As always, the entire cast is challenged to deliver incredible artistic and athletic performances. To make up for the lack of dialogue, various set pieces prompt symbolism to help tell the story. The central tree, which resembles a DNA helix, sometimes serves as a throne for God and may symbolize life, growth, or death. Different colored balloons, sometimes filled with flour, are broken and effectively convey the original sin, the death of Abel, and other events as watched by two giant all-seeing eyes. The Mark of Cain continues its Cinetic through August 13th. Expect to see a truly evocative retelling of this biblical story. I'm Denise Pringle. Now back to the news desk.
All right, thanks, Denise.
Thank
we
you,
appreciate it. Denise in her review of Mark of Cain down at Cinetic Theater. Thanks, Denise. We appreciate it. Now here we go with our news for seniors as promised. Take a look at this picture if you can. This is Zoe, the therapy dog. They say that a picture is worth 1,000 words, but a visit is worth 1,000 pictures. If you'd like to collect all those imaginary pictures, then come on down to Walter Reed Community Center and Senior Center for a visit with Zoe, the therapy dog. That's coming up Wednesday, August 16. Time will be 10:30 to 11:15 in the morning. Their address is 2909, should be on your screen there, 2909 16th Street South in Arlington. Zoe will do some tricks. Dr. Chuck Toftoy will share information on what it takes to train a therapy dog. For more information, call Leanne Canute, Leanne, at 703-228-0955. Daniel.
And Craig, on Wednesday evening, August the 16th, there will be a trivia night challenge held at the Arlington Mill Community and Senior Center. The challenge will be played in 3-round pub-style format. Yes, format. There will be a question round, a picture round, and yes, even a mystery round. The time will be 7:30 to 8:30 p.m., and the location will be 909 South Dinwiddie Street. That's in Arlington, of course. Maybe one of the questions will be about Lord Dinwiddie and why he has a street today, but probably not. All ages are welcome, but let's face it, seniors have had more years in which to prepare. Registration is obviously very important, so call Nicholas Englund at 703-228-7369. Trivia night's always fun, right, Craig?
Trivia night is fun. Get your trivia books out. Also on our News for Seniors file, there's been a fair amount of talk about first-hand smoke and second-hand smoke, but less attention has been given to third-hand smoke. Well, what is third-hand smoke? Well, it's tobacco smoke contamination that remains after a cigarette has been extinguished. It's been around ever since the invention of cigarettes, but it's harder to detect at first. And with more on third-hand smoke, here's Senor Pineda.
Absolutely, Craig. A single cigarette will leave a thin coating of residue on the surfaces of an entire room, but the first coating is practically invisible. However, for smokers who spend a lot of time in a single enclosed location like an apartment, the buildup of toxins can become apparent within a year or two. The residue can combine with ordinary dust, pet hair, cobwebs, and fine particles of airborne cigarette ash to form a sticky compound that can't be vacuumed away. Dishes and food containers become coated and must be washed. Even lampshades and light covers will gradually turn from plain white to a kind of honey brown, reducing the light in the room and making the other residue less visible. Clothing and clothes can also be affected because the airborne resins can penetrate any opening that isn't airtight. There are an estimated 250 toxins in cigarette smoke, including lead and cyanide. Suggested remedies include repainting walls and replacing carpets, but they are only partly affected. The only reliable solution is avoidance. And for anyone who still smokes, well, quit. Fred.
Good advice. Gracias, Senor Pineda. Thanks, Daniel. Okay, that's it. Is that it for News for Seniors, finally? Yes.
Finally.
Yes, finally. Okay, we'll be back with sign-off and bye-bye right after we hear from Inga Middleton and her guests. Here's Inga.
John Ayers was the unofficial mayor of Westover from 1948 to in 1976. This plaque was created in memory of a man whose dedication to Westover's children was of paramount importance. He used his commercial establishment as a platform for service to his community. His love and dedication to Westover will radiate as long as he is remembered, and we won't forget.
Hi, I'm here with Christy Peterkin, and she's the daughter of the Ayers hardware owner. Welcome, Christy.
Thank you.
So, what is Ayers hardware exactly?
We are an old school mom and pop 5 and 10. My theory is, and hopefully our motto is, if we don't have it, you don't need it.
I see, that's so charming. So, you basically carry things that most other stores don't carry anymore.
We try to. If it's something you're having a hard time finding and I can get it for you, I will. And if I can't, I'll go through the internet and try to dig it up for you. Even if I can't get it, I'll tell you where you can.
Right. And what do you find that the community says about Ayers hardware?
Generally, we get positive feedback. People like to walk in the front door and take a deep breath in because it smells like their childhood.
Yes.
The stores they remember from back in the day.
Right.
And that's true for a lot of the folks my age and older. But even the younger generations seem to appreciate that we're a little bit different.
Right. Yes. I could see that right away when I first walked into this place years ago, coming from California, and I had never been in here, but immediately felt right at home.
Oh, good.
And what else is it besides, I mean, it just seems like you have the hardware store section part of it, and then this additional section.
So we sell a little bit of everything. The hardware side is kind of a mini hardware. We don't have a lumber section, but we do have a little bit of everything else that you could probably want. The variety side is a huge mix. We have toys, we have school supplies, housewares, household chemicals, both indoor and outdoor chemicals.
Alarm clocks.
We do. We have alarm clocks.
Everything.
We do.
Pumice stone.
Yes,
I've
yes,
come in here for
absolutely.
that. So, can you tell me a little bit about the history of Ayers?
So the store was started in the late 1940s by John Ayers. I don't know the exact date because I've never gone down to pull the business license, but we know late 40s. Right. He owned it until 1976 when he passed away, and that's when my parents purchased it from his nephew who did not wish to be a retailer. And we've had it ever since.
Oh, that's so nice. It must be comforting for so many Arlingtonians to have this store here.
They tell us it is. They don't want us to change anything. When my father purchased it, he had to change the shelving because it was, unfortunately, a shoplifter's paradise of little hidey holes and things.
Oh, my gosh.
And so when he changed it, we heard negative feedback for years. 15, 20 years later, you changed the counters.
That's so funny.
But people finally got used to it and
great.
thankfully didn't stop shopping here.
Yeah. So what's your father's name?
Ronald Kaplan, and my mom's name is Wilma.
That's awesome.
And they still come in a couple days a week, and my brother and I manage it for them the rest of the time.
That's so great.
It's fun.
So how do you find yourselves involved in the community?
So we do several events with the other businesses in Westover. We do an Easter egg hunt every year over at Reed School's playground area. We usually do a Halloween event that the trick-or-treaters can come and trick-or-treat at the different stores.
Oh, that's so nice.
We have had a Santa here every year since who knows when.
Right.
And our Santa is free for those who bring their children down. They bring their cell phones and take pictures and sit and chat at will. And it's kind of nice because it's not a big, scary experience at the mall. It's just Santa sitting up in the hardware section.
Right. So is that any day during the holiday season? Or?
It's certain days, and we post it both on our Facebook page and on our front door.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So it's...
And do the people from the farmers market, which takes place, I think, on Sundays, right?
Yes.
Do they come in here after that, or does the store have a representative that goes over there, or do you notice any effect either way?
Not really. Unfortunately for us, our business tended to slow down some on Sundays with the advent of the farmers market. We're not quite sure what the reason for that was, but we don't generally see much business directly at that time.
I see.
No.
Interesting. Okay.
Not sure why.
Yeah. But you have a lot of additional employees besides yourself that work here. Isn't that right?
We do. We have all total 17 employees. 7 of those are full-time, and the rest are part-time teenagers and college students who we have hired and employed for years.
Wow. Well, I know that there are some very regular employees that I recognize every time I come in here.
Oh, yes. Yes, our full-timers we have been here a long time. We even have one employee who's been here 55 years. She worked for Mr. Ayers back in the day.
Wow. So nice.
Yeah.
Well, I immediately noticed the beautiful smell in this place when I walked in here today, and I really want to thank you for having us here.
It's our
and
pleasure.
it's fun walking into little comforts of home like Grandma's home. So thank you so much for having us.
Thank
at
you for
Ayers
coming.
Hardware. All right. See you soon.
Okay.
All right, thanks,
Oh,
Inga.
nice to see Inga
Had her
again.
visit with the folks down there at Ayers in Westover, out there on Washington Boulevard. Been around for a long, long time. It's a great variety store, hardware
Cool.
store. Just stop in and look around at all the stuff they got in there. It's amazing.
And we definitely miss Inga.
great
I mean,
stuff.
it's great.
Yeah.
Her interviews are always
Does
so
a good
good.
job.
Yeah.
So we thank you,
Thank you,
Inga.
Inga.
All right,
We miss you here, though.
Well, before we go here, should probably just pass along our condolences and thoughts to the entire Campbell clan. We lost a great one just a couple of days ago. Well, yesterday at this taping, Glenn Campbell died at the age of 81. So if you remember songs like Wichita Lineman, By the Time I Get to Phoenix, Rhinestone Cowboy, Galveston, and a whole lot more. He was a great singer-songwriter, had his own show, and I really liked and enjoyed a lot of his music. He could play almost anything with strings on it. He was a great, and he will be a great one, and he will be greatly missed.
Absolutely. We're definitely going to miss him, Craig.
So that's our show. Anything else to add before we go?
No.
Okay, well, we got to go. Time to roll on out of here. So thanks to all of you for watching. Next week, if you're there, we'll be here, and we'll give it another shot. Have a great week. Bye-bye.